was raised in a city with no heart, where there's no heart. Stepping when it comes to me getting that no far. I'm a hustler, I'm a hustler. Raised on the battlefield, born as a sufferer. Before I had a deal, I was still stacking bills.
Okay guys, now there's two names for this move, and they are gorillas and BBoyDarkspinz. Now I don't know, like whatever country, wherever you're from, or whatever like area or something, you'll call it something different. But I prefer to call gorillas because BBoyDarkspinz is just like their long fifth and say every single time. So okay, now we're just going to go through a few stretches to be able to do this. Obviously you saw what the move was at the beginning of the video. Now, you're going to be using your arms a lot in this. It's all about weight transferation in this whole move. You're barely using your legs at all. It's literally always, it's all in your arms. So you're going to be doing some arm stretches and especially wrists. Okay, so now what I taught in the women tutorial, if you hadn't seen that, it's fine. It's just going to be the usual stretch that I do for the wrist, where you're going to have your hand straight out and you're going to have your back hand facing towards you and your palm facing forwards, and you're going to pull back on your fingers and you're going to hold that for about 10 seconds. You're going to do that to both hands. And you should really feel it along the bottom of your wrist and maybe even along the top a little bit as well. Okay, now next one, you just flip it over and pull back on it again. Do that for about 10 seconds. And then put them into a ball and just shake them around and all that. Get them going all mobile and stuff. Okay, now the next one is for you, this is still doing for your wrist, this one. Okay, what you're going to have to do is you're going to kind of like, get down your knees and all that. And put your wrists out to the side at first. So I'm going to teach you from this angle. So out to the side and then just lean side to side. This is going to really put like a little bit of tension and pressure on them, and then that will help you be able to sort of warm them up a little bit more. So do that to the sides for about 5-6 times each, then do them backwards. Hurts me to do this one backwards because I broke my left wrist, which is like a couple of years ago, which is the one I actually used for a break-in, but oh well. Okay, now you do that a couple of times and then you do it forwards. Couple of times, backwards and forwards. Okay, now after that you want to do stretch out forearms and biceps and triceps and stuff. So we're just going to do the common stretch, which is arm straight out and you lock your other arm over the top. Do this one for your wrist and then move it up towards the elbow. And then the other arm. Okay, now you're ready to start learning gorillas. Okay, now breaking this move down, I break it down to about 4 steps, which is what I usually break most of my moves down to. And this step is going to be called the tucked planche, which is the actual base of the move and the root of everything you're going to be doing for this move. Okay, now the easier way you're going to think about this is doing it like that, into like a kind of a crab or frog or whatever freeze. But what you actually need to do is, instead of putting your elbows in between your legs like that inside, you want to put them on the outside. And now this is going to feel really hard at first. Because this is actually a little like a tucked planche where you actually not got any support from your other body. You're keeping your whole body up with your arms basically. And yeah, okay, so you have your two hands out in front of you like we did in the stretches, where you're going to be sort of moving from side to side. Now what you're going to do is you're going to slowly be able to, this is what you're actually going to do. You're going to put your legs in here and you're going to try and hold that for as long as you can. Now, so basically you're going to be staying here and bring the legs into the arms here, up to about your elbow part. But make sure you keep your legs inside. You don't need to put them together or anything like that. Make sure there's about a little bit of gap, probably about just over a fist of width. So put your fist there, get the width right, and then literally just lean into it and tuck your legs into the arms like that. And hold it for as long as you can. You want to try and hold that, I'd say, for about 10 to 15 seconds before you're able to start learning and going on to the second step. Because you need to be able to have the strength and the energy to be able to hold yourself up and balance before you can actually start transferring your weight from side to side and different things. So again, arms out like that. Keep them straight, don't bend them or anything. A lot of tutorials tell us things like flares and all that, because if you bend your arms, and you need to keep them strong, because if you bend them, you're going to lose all your weight, all your power, and you're kind of just going to go flat in your face. So again, arms out, legs going to come in very slowly, and just hold it. Now you're ready to start learning step 2. Okay, now this is step 2, covering weight transferation, and hoping that you've already sort of, got the tuck planche all gone down and dusted, and you can be able to hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. That's brilliant. Now you're ready to start learning this step. Now, weight transferation is what this move is, basically. it's all about transferring your weight from side to side, being able to sort of, you know, just twist it about and all that, and manoeuvring your body. You've got to remember to keep your hips up, because when I first started learning this move, I was sort of like down here, and my hips are very low. You need to tuck them, you need to get, when you tuck in, make sure your hips are up like that, and your face kind of dangles down a little bit. You don't be looking up for it, because one, that'll sort of, you know, do your neck in already, because it's going to be putting strain on it, and it doesn't really look good. It's very for the form for the move. So yeah, make sure your hips are up. And right, weight transferation. What you're going to be basically doing is, after you've learned to be able to hold that position for about 10 to 15 seconds, you're ready to start learning to go from side to side. So in a stationary position, you're going to be here, okay? Now at this point, this is where you are going to be able to go from left to right, like this. It's all about switching the weight. So, obviously, once again, you go right into the stationary position. If you feel easier at the start, just to sort of get the motion, you can do it with your legs on the floor. So that's what I'm going to teach for the actual spinning motion in the next step. But just try and practice this. So keep your hands on the floor like that, and just practice switching from side to side. It won't really work that much on carpet, but you'll sort of get the motion and the technique that way. So, stationary position up here. Don't put the legs together, but swing them from side to side. Then keep the hips up. I'd say practice to be able to do about, once again, probably about 5 to 6 each side. Once you can do that, then you're definitely ready to start learning how to sort of, you know, transfer it in a circle. Because that's, well, obviously it's not a move what I'm doing there, but it's a good drill for it. It's like stationary gorillas, I call it, because you're still transferring your weight, but just make sure your legs do not clomp together, because I even sometimes do that, because I haven't exactly perfected the move. I've only been learning it for, like, you know, about 2 months or something, but still, yeah, make sure that you've got that weight transferation perfect before you even start going on to the next step. Okay, now step 3 is going to cover the movement of the actual move. So you've basically, I'm hoping you've already got down the stationary position, and also you've got the weight transferation down on both arms. Okay, excuse me. Now, what this one's going to do is actually going to cover the whole motion of the move, but we're going to do it like without keeping your legs in the air. So you can actually have your legs on the floor, but keep your knees off the floor, so then this will be harder for you, so then you can actually get used to getting the knees into like the elbows and training from going from side to side, but stay on your toes for me. So it'll probably be best if you wear shoes or something, because I mean, yeah, quite like staying in socks here, but okay, so you go in your stationary position as usual. Going to put left hand down here, and you're going to be going, put your right hand there and lift your legs up so you've got them ready to go in, and just practice swooping them into the side there. I'm going to shout from this side position so it actually goes face on for you. So your left hand here onto your legs, your right hand up here, and move and stay on your toes, and then pull with your right hand, and then swip your hips up to the elbow here. So your right leg's going to touch them. So you can go 1, 2, here. Show that again. 1, legs up, 2. After that point, you're going to complete one gorilla by bringing the left hand back in, so you're back into that stationary position. Because that's all it is. You're basically just moving around in a circle by isolating one arm out and then bringing it back in with the left hand. So, again, this side, left hand down, legs slightly apart, right hand out, on your toes, bring them in, right leg touches here, and then you bring the left hand back. And then again, 1, 2, and again 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's just all that motion basically. Keep practicing that all around, and you're going to have to do that. Well, it's not really exactly going to build up any strength, so what, but it will definitely build up the technique for when you actually do go up into the motion, for when you start actually doing gorillas like that and turning around in the circle with the legs levitated up like that. So just keep practicing that 1, 2 motion. So here, 1, 2, bring them in. Okay, now you're ready to start learning the final step, and this is going to be putting all of them together and actually completing the move. Okay, now this is step 4, which is what I'm going to call the 1-2 hop drop rest. I don't know why I came on that name, but it's just sort of a thing I kind of practiced when I began learning this move. Okay, so obviously you've got down them 3 steps hopefully, and you've understood now the technique of bringing your right hand out and just bringing your legs into each other like that. And you've actually got the circle motion hopefully. If not, then go back, or if you have any other questions, just inbox me or something. You know, it just comes through straight to my phone, so you know, I'll help you out as long as I'm sort of, you know, not working at the time. But yeah, this one's called the 1-2 hop motion. Now what I mean by that, it's going to be, you're going to actually do 1 gorilla, so it's going to be like, you're going to be doing the 1 and then bringing the arm back in 2, and then you're going to drop your legs back down so you can rest and recover. When I mean rest and recover, I mean like just like a millisecond or whatever, just to loosen the tension, then bring yourself back up again, so you're not having the tension consistently. It's like little tiny breaks in it. I'll show you what I mean, then I'm just going to sort of break down and show you how to do it. Okay, so this is what I mean. Go 1, 2, drop. 1, 2, drop. 1, 2, drop. Okay, now you see what I'm doing there? I'm doing exactly the same as I showed you in the motion in step 3, but I'm actually going to be lifting my legs now into the stationary position. Now, this is actually what's going to be completing your gorillas. So, as you're up here, it's kind of like hard to show it in a slow motion, so forgive me if I sort of fall, because I need to sort of keep the momentum up to stay like, you know, lifted up. But yeah, I'll give it a go. So you've got your levitated motion here. Okay, this is the point then where you're going to bring the right hand out. So then you're going to bring it out, and you're going to go 1, bring the left hand in and drop. So, again, go 1, 2, drop. I'll show it from this angle. So you get left hand here, 1, 2, drop. 1, 2, drop. 1, 2, drop. 1, 2, drop. Okay, now, so putting all of them steps together, you will eventually be able to do gorillas, and after just doing that 1, 2 drop, you'll be able to eventually go up to doing 3, 4 and then drop. So you won't actually just be doing 1, 2 and then drop in. You'll have more momentum, you'll gain more strength and more stamina to be able to go longer, and so you'll actually gain all the technique and everything and be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and then drop. And then eventually, once you're on about, you know, 6, 8, you've actually got the move down. So now, this part is actually covering a combo in them. Now, being as this move's quite relatively sort of new to me, I haven't actually noticed combos and everything, because obviously in my other tutorials I've taught how to do combos of them, like, you know, only like a 6-step or something, but still, this move's quite hard because, like, obviously, no matter what you do, you'll be jumping into it and you're sort of landing in that stationary position, so you've got to sort of catch yourself. It's like putting loads of tension on you, sort of like landing in an awkward position, so it is quite hard. It will take some work, so even stuff from like a 6-step, it will be hard to sort of catch yourself, and it will look kind of rough at first. But well, you could try something if you're sort of just starting out basic and stuff. Try and sort of, you know, go from your top rock. So you go from your top rock down, and then, I don't know, if you can jump out, helicopter here, and then just try and bounce into it like that, just from a speed and momentum. Because you don't want to be sitting there in a battle and then sort of getting all your arms ready in that. Just try and make it flow and look fluid, and try and like make it look technical and all that through your sets. So putting everything together, hopefully you've been able to learn gorillas from this tutorial. As I said earlier on, I'm happy to answer any questions or queries or anything you've got. Just remember all the steps I taught you, making sure that the weight transformation's all good, you've got the technique down before you've actually started going up, and then you sort of, practice the 1, 2, drop, 1, 2, drop motion before you sort of, go on to higher amounts. And don't become frustrated or discouraged, just keep trying the move. It will, I'll tell you, the longest part will actually be the base. Will be literally just holding that shape, because at first you'll probably wobble a bit or something like that, or you'll go too far forward and roll onto your head and roll over or something like that. But just keep at it, because eventually you'll get it. No pain, no gain, as I pretty much say in every tutorial. But yeah, good luck.